Good day, everyone. I am Pamela Vibinignes, and for today's discussion, I would like to discuss about the comparison or the differences between the student-centered and the teacher-centered approach. Before we talk about the different methods, first we need to distinguish between the differences of two of the main approaches. So first, we have the teacher-centered approach and student-centered approach who is more active in the classroom. So the teacher or the students, that depends on the approach that you are following. So if ato i-follow ang teacher-centered approach, it means that the teacher is more active than the students. And the students are a little bit more passive, however, is the teacher more active. We are not talking about the body language. Actually, we're talking about who sets the rules, who is creating a safe learning environment. The teacher is in charge of establishing the rules in the classroom. The teacher is also accountable for completely explaining the subject on his own without the assistance of the students. The teacher is the one who asks direct questions to students. They get their response and provide feedback, giving students corrections when something is incorrect and a teacher needs to make a change. The teacher is responsible for assessing. From the word assessing, you will give an assessment to the students. So the teacher is more responsible for providing feedback. The instructor who assigns them work and informs them of the deadline or due date for submitting their work will find that the students are more responsive to anything the teacher does. For the student-centered approach, on the other hand, students are more engaged. They assess the teacher in establishing the rules and determining the rewards and punishment that should be imposed when the rules are followed or broken. So, the students here assessed the teacher in explaining the content through discussions, role-playing, participation, and other methods that the teacher may employ to the students. So now, let's move on to the 4 principles of student-centered approach. So first is the learning is personalized, or what we call individual learning. So personalized learning is an educational strategy that tries to customize learning to the strength, needs, skills, and interest of each student. So ang students will receive a personalized study plan based on their prior knowledge and preferred learning style. Matag usa nato na ay lain-laing pamaagi sa pagtuon, na ay uban nocturnal gabi magtuon, na ay uban buntag sayo makatuon, na ay uban magtuon, na ay music, na atay lain-laing pamaagi sa pag-study. Mo nang gitawag nga learning is personalized because you are creating your own setup in terms of studying. Learning is personalized has its importance. So the importance of learning is personalized is the higher student engagement. A student-centered approach to education begins with the concept that students learn in different ways and are always in different stages of their learning journey than their classmates. So, what more could you want as a teacher? So, as students with a higher degree of involvement have higher levels of motivation. The sense ownership will encourage students to become committed in their learning journey since they have a degree of choice in the learning. The second principle of student-centered approach is the learning is competency-based. If we say competency-based learning, it refers to system of instruction, assessment, grading, and academic reporting that are based on students demonstrating that they have learned the knowledge and skills they have expected to learn as they progress through their education. Ang students will progress through learning objectives as they demonstrate mastery of content at their own pace. Learning is competency-based has its importance. Competency-based education assessed the students in developing and demonstrating mastery of topic, promotes fairness and inclusions, and prepares students for life beyond the classroom. The overall purpose of competency-based learning is to guarantee that children acquire the knowledge and skills necessary for success in school, higher education, career, and adult life. And now let's proceed to the third principle of student-centered approach, which is the learning happens anytime, anywhere. Learning that happens anytime, anywhere, the principle that structured credit-bearing learning experiences can take place outside of the traditional school day or even the school year, so that they can take place in the community and are not restricted to the classroom. So today, learning takes place in a variety of settings, such as sa balay, sa classroom, online setup, and outside. Learning happens anytime, anywhere has its importance. What we call it supports learner initiative. The concept of giving training to learners whenever and wherever they want it using the technology they like, or known as anytime, anywhere learning. For instances, the mobile learning, which may be delivered on desktops, laptops, tablets, and smartphones, that are the most prevalent delivery technology for this training approach. Last but not the least, principles of student-centered approach is the learners take ownership of their own learning. So, what do we mean by ownership of learning? So, the learning ownership refers to a student who is motivated, engaged, and self-directed in their actions, with a sense of autonomy, choice, and responsibility. So, tanang estudyante have a basic desire to feel in control of their work. They are more motivated to learn and obtain better academic result at school. Learners naturally want to make decisions that matter to them, seek goals that are relevant to them, and feel in charge of both their triumphs and failures. Learners take ownership of their own learning has its importance. Students who own their learning have a higher sense of self-efficiency and can devote more time to learning activities. Now let's move on to the metacognition. So what is a metacognition? So metacognition is awareness and control of thinking for learning. The student's learning and performance can be influenced by strong metacognitive skills. Metacognition can improve the practice. Many students struggle to engage in metacognitive processes in meaningful way. Metacognition is the process of thinking about one's own thinking and learning. So if we say metacognition, it is an intentional thinking about how you think and learn. And if we say cognition, your thinking activities and process. Like mo ka, what are the steps that I need to follow here? I am wondering, what do I already know about this topic? Where did I get stuck when trying to solve this problem? It reminds me of, what is the assignment asking me to do? I am figuring out. Metacognition is knowing when you don't know, and what to do when you don't know. And now let's proceed to the 4 level of metacognitive learners. By Perkins, year 1992, defined 4 levels of metacognitive learners. So the first is the tacit. Tacit is unaware of their metacognitive knowledge. So the learners aware to metacognitive, they don't think, also learner-centered. The second one is the aware, having knowledge, perception of situation. Kutob rasa, hunahuna, without action, generating ideas, finding evidences, and etc. Then the strategic is relating to the identification of long-term or overall aims and interest that means of achieving them. Naa siya sa hunahuna and with action. It's empower students to think about their own thinking. Strategic learners organize their thinking by using problem solving, evidence seeking, especially decision making. And the last level of metacognitive learner is the reflective. It is a way of thinking about one's thinking in order to grow. Your aim here as a student is to make your learning a more conscious process. So once again, I am Pamela Benignes, and that would be all. Thank you.